I want to say this tonight, and I think this is a shame to a lot of the Hill Press Corps. I'm not going to name any of you by name, but I haven't seen many stories written yet about the fact that we put the discharge up for unanimous consent on the floor tonight. The Republicans, the Speaker, and the Republicans asked for unanimous consent to just go ahead and pass the discharge because I think it's a moot point. The Democrats objected to the unanimous consent. Nobody's written a story about that. That's stunning to me. How can you miss that? If it was about transparency, if it was about full disclosure, there's two questions you should ask every Democrat in the House and Senate. Why didn't you bring this up during the 4 years of the Biden administration when the Biden DOJ had all these records the entire time? Nobody ever said a word about it. They didn't care. Now it's the biggest thing in the world. Didn't matter at all when Joe Biden had the files. And secondly, if they're for transparency, and they really want all this to be out, and there's such this urgency, then why did they vote down the unanimous consent to pass the discharge petition tonight? I can't answer that question, but they should, and every one of you should ask them about it. Yes.
Thank you.
BBN Jack Frost.
What's up, party people?
Alright, so yeah. So apparently, the Democrats have been lying again. Now I want to be clear about something. These votes that are being taken. Most of these things, if not all of these things, they are public knowledge. That you can go and you can check the public forums on different government websites, and you'll be able to find out who voted which way. So that's one, just so we can be clear. And the next thing I want to be clear about is this: we have a government where there's one side that's clearly, very clearly, saying things that are not true. I mean, it's not hard to look at, let's say, Hollywood and see who Hollywood genuinely sides with. It's not hard to see that when we hear about all of this, predator behavior that's happening in Hollywood, and then you also look at the politicians that the Hollywood people hang around, and then you hear that the politicians that these Hollywood people hang around with are friends with the Ghislaine Maxwells, the Epsteins, the Harvey Weinsteins of the world. And then, for whatever reason, when these individuals are charged with crimes, y'all 100% blame it on Trump and the Republicans. So once again, I believe that the Democratic Party has actively and has been actively trying to create mental health issues in America so that they can have these mentally ill individuals vote for them and push their agendas. And one of the things that I think that they do is they find people who are parts of small groups of people who have mental illnesses, and they try to say, you guys matter too. Not that they don't, but they say, you guys matter too. And whatever crazy thing you trying to push, as long as you push our crazy thing, we'll push yours. Do you see what that's done to the Democratic Party? I don't know if people realize, but it has been taken over right now by the Communist Party. AOC, at this point, everything she preaches is communism. We already know that New York City has elected a communist mayor, and socialism is like one step away from communism, and that's what Bernie Sanders has been pushing for years. The government cannot pay for everything, and neither should we want the government to pay for everything. What we should want is the ability to make it on our own, the ability to have the same advantages in order to be able to procure the finances for our families and for the generations to come as others have had. But you do understand, As long as you want the government to pay for everything and you're ready to sit back and allow for the government to pay for everything, you and your family can never get rich. You and your family can never get wealthy. Because how are you going to become wealthy? How are you going to be able to leave things back to the generations that's coming after you if the majority of what you are doing in life is allowing for the government to pay for everything? We are passing down tons of bad behavior right now. You know how they be like generational curses? Snap. That's a generational curse. In any regard, the Republicans have been trying to release the Epstein files. Now, I want to explain something to you because it seems like I don't want to accuse people of being slow, but I will accuse people of not paying attention. Is that fair? So I'm going to explain how people have not been paying attention. Listening and listen very closely. Remember when Mike Johnson, Speaker of the House, first attempted to go and have the Epstein files released? Everybody forgets that was right before the government shutdown. Right before the government shutdown, Mike Johnson was going to bring the vote. They were going to have everybody vote on it. Then all of a sudden, now the government shut down. As soon as the government got shut down, Mike Johnson says what he's going to do is immediately once the government opens back up, what he's going to do is he's going to bring the vote back. Who have been the people voting against the government opening back up? The Democrats. While at the same time telling you that it's the Republicans preventing you from having SNAP. And they're the only ones voting against it. And for anybody that's saying, well, they voted against it because the Republicans did. No, they didn't. This is the same bill from before. This is the same exact bill that they have been agreeing to. You see, what happened is when the big beautiful bill came about, they put some things in the big beautiful bill that the Republicans couldn't stop that allowed for a lot of the fraud and waste management to disappear, and it would not be then reenacted or brought back in order for it to keep existing. They were just going to get rid of it. But the issue is a lot of this government spending and fraud actually benefits the Democrats because it allows for them to basically send money to this news agency, as we found out with the, I think, IPAC, or whatever they call that. Those guys was paying, monies from the IPAC was going to news agencies, and if those news agencies didn't have that money, they couldn't exist no more. Look what's happening to PBS. I think the government should take money away or funding away from 100% of these news agencies that they are funding that isn't doing news the appropriate way. You shouldn't be slanted to the left. You shouldn't be slanted to the right. The news should just be trying to inform the American people, period. There is no other thing that the news should be doing. North, east, west, south. Inform them. The news should not be a vehicle for propaganda. And at this point, an argument could be made that that's 100% what many of these news agencies are. When you have a CNN and probably more than 90% of their programming is anti-Trump. Trump bad. That's not a news agency anymore. Those guys work for the Democratic Party. They're doing a pretty good job for the Democratic. Well, they're doing a bad job for the Democratic Party, but they are doing a job. This is an issue. The Republicans have consistently been trying to have the Epstein emails released. They're tired of fighting to have the Epstein emails released because there's other things to do. The Democrats love doing this one thing, and I'm going to let y'all go, but pay attention. They love accusing the Republicans of doing things that they are actually doing. And their own base, while watching them do the thing that they're accusing the Republicans of, still blame the Republicans. These are mental health issues. Like, comment, subscribe, join the notification gang. Hashtag Bronx Bombers. Let's get it. I love y'all. take care of each other. Hug the kids for me. I haven't forgotten about you. And that's all I got on this one. I'm out.